So I have just started recording. Let's wait a couple of more minutes, a couple of more seconds for more people to join. Welcome to all of you. Welcome Hiding Castles. Welcome Sales Relators. Um, I would also like to welcome Baser, who's helping me manage all these groups on the Discord. He's helping me a lot because I'm new to this, so I don't really know how to manage it yet by myself. So thank you very much, Baser. We'll be waiting a couple of minutes more for people to join. Let's wait around 2 minutes, maybe three, and then we'll start with all of this. You'll be able to make all your questions, and I will address them. Um, on this video call, I will only be talking about and addressing the information about the strategy, but you can also ask me anything related to Earth2.io, anything I will answer, giving you my perspective. As I have clarified on the chat, I'm not a developer, I'm not a co-creator or anything like that. I'm just a person that is investing really a lot of time on this. Um, I have been within this project for the last 8 months, investigating about it. As soon as it was released, I deposited $50, and then I didn't invest these $50. I just deposited them to cash them out and to make sure they will arrive to my bank account with no problems, which actually happened. Um, and well, as I was explaining, I want to give you more background on me. I have been working with many clients. At the moment, I'm working with 63 clients, I believe, 63 or 64 clients. Um, on the ones they're investing money with me, and I am managing their portfolios, managing all the information, researching on how to buy properties, which are the best ways to buy properties. I have created, as I mentioned in the video, exactly 37 accounts, trying different strategies. Of course, I didn't create all of these accounts on my name. These are accounts from my clients. I have mentioned that I have tried these 37 strategies for the sake of, for two principal purposes. The first purpose is to find the best strategy, and the second purpose is I think this is going long run, so I would really like to write a book about these strategies from 2 years from now, So the 3 minutes, the 2 minutes we wanted to wait have passed. It's not many of us right now. We're only five on the voice chat, but you can start asking any questions, whether it is via the question for Zoom call group or by your own voice. So, do you have any questions before I start explaining the techniques I have been using and which ones I will recommend? Okay, so at the moment there are no questions. You can ask me any question, anyways, any moment, but I will start explaining what method I have found to work the best. So as I explained a little bit on the video, one of the methods I tried was utilizing tools in the price history price chart. Which tools I'm utilizing? I'm utilizing tools that are usually used on the stock market, on the forex trading, and also on cryptocurrency trading. Um, these tools I'm mentioning to you were used at the last. At first, were not used on cryptocurrencies because just like Earth 2, people who were trading with cryptocurrencies didn't really have a good method to trade, And slowly, these methods have made their way into cryptocurrency, which I believe is a similar market to Earth 2 terrain, virtual terrains market. Um, and nowadays, everybody uses these types of tools for cryptocurrency trading or investing. So I believe this could be the future of the strategy on Earth2.io. So, which tools I am using? I will list them on the Discord chat a little bit later on. But what I'm basically doing is I'm copying the information you can get from Earth2.io marketplace history chart. I'm copying this information, and at the moment I'm pasting it at a Excel sheet. In this Excel sheet, I'm plotting these tools. One I will explain now tool by tool that I use for you to be able to research on how to utilize these tools. On your research, I will recommend you to look for Trading 212. It's a trading platform which also has a YouTube channel that will explain some of these tools. And the other one will be Ricky Gutierrez. You can look at him in YouTube also. He also explains briefly a little bit of how he uses these tools. Okay, so basically the first tool that I will use, that I will look at when using these graphs, will be the simple moving average. This simple moving average, basically what it does, it gets information from this graph we plotted before, and it will make an average of the prices fluctuations. With this, it will draw a line, and with this line, you can, as you will see on the videos, when you try to understand more profoundly this tool, on these videos, it will explain basically how to use the tool. Okay, but basically, this line will help you tell if there is a uptrend, if there is a downtrend. It will also help you identify potential supports and resistance. At the moment on Earth 2, there are practically no resistance, but it will also help you identify this. The second tool I'm using is the EMA, the exponential moving average. This moving average, this exponential moving average, what it does is basically the same thing that the SMA does, but it applies an exponential filter to it. So what this means is that it's the same as the SMA, as a simple moving average, but it makes it more reactive. Okay, so it will be usually closer to the price, and it will react much faster. Secondly, well, the third tool I'm utilizing now is the VWAP, the volume weighted average price, which is another type of uh, moving average, but it considers the volume of the market. At the moment, I have not been able to implement this tool the correct way, because there is not really a good way to measure the volume of the Earth2.io market. Um, so at the moment, I'm perfectioning this method on this tool, so that the call that we will make in about a week or two will be, I will be able to explain you more about this tool. So the fourth tool I will utilize is RSI, the Relative Strength Index. What this does is it will give you an idea if a stock, or in this case, if a train is overbought or oversold. In this case, in R2 case, it will show that everything is overbought. Of course, it will tell you that every single stock or every single terrain is overbought. But when utilizing the peaks of this tool and comparing it to the MACD, which I will explain now, you can get more information about it. Okay, so basically, there we go to the fifth tool I'm utilizing, which is the MACD, is the moving average of convergence or divergence. It's just like any other moving average I have explained before, but it converges and it diverges the price. So it will focus on when a price is getting close to a certain amount, or when it's diverging, meaning going away from that amount. Well, basically, those are the first five tools I utilize, and then I have my secondary tools. The first secondary tool is a alligator oscillator. It sounds funny, but it's a oscillator that is used also to determine when an uptrend is starting, when it's topping up, and when it's about to finish. This is extremely useful to use it while comparing it with the SMA and the EMA, to know when to cash out, to know when to sell your properties, and when to get out of the market when it's about to have maybe a pullback or depreciate a little bit. Finally, I'm using the Bollinger Bands. The Bollinger Bands will basically also tell you if a stock has an uptrend or a downtrend, and will likely similarly to using the MACD with the RSI will tell you whenever you should get out of this market. It will tell you whenever you're topping up on the market and when you are starting to have a slower momentum. And with a slower momentum, there's a bigger probability of having a pullback in the market or having these terrains depreciate from value. Well, basically, those are the 7 tools I'm using right now. These are the 7 main tools I'm using. I'm trying other tools. I'm experimenting a little bit to perfect this method and this strategy. But these are the 7 tools I'm using at the moment. Does any of you have any questions, especially the guys that just joined? You can activate your voice and just ask me, or if you want to type it, you can go at hashtag question for Zoom call and ask any question right there. Okay, so at the moment there are no questions or anything of this. So I would like to explain some other things about the market and how I believe Earth 2 will be developing. Why am I so interested on Earth 2, and why I think it has so much future? Because some people think it doesn't. Why I believe it does? It's because, especially because of phase 3. Because on phase 1, the one that we are in, these virtual terrains should not have a real tangible value. There's no reason for it. On phase 2, they only play resources, but these resources would once again have no tangible value. There will be no reason to have value in these resources. Phase 3 is the most interesting one because beyond what they talked about on advertising, which could give tangible value to this market, I think there's a way bigger market and a way better market for this. For example, it could be museums or sports events. Let's talk about the Super Bowl. Let's say that the entry to the Super Bowl, a ticket to watch the Super Bowl in real life on live, it's only $100. I believe it's probably way much more than this. I don't really know about this, but it's probably way beyond $100. So not everybody can pay this price. Most importantly, not everybody can travel all the way to wherever the Super Bowl will be due to work or due to these passages or these flights tickets being way too pricey, being way having a high price. But these people could be interested in watching this sporting event on live, I believe, while utilizing a virtual headset. Now you can now make a live transmission of these types of events with 360 cameras, which as a fact are expensive, but there could be a really big potential market for this. Hold up, I'm gonna pull up my calculator for a second. Calculator, okay. So, well, the first thing is there's a lot of people interested in many sporting events. The Super Bowl is just one example of it, but I'm gonna use it as an example right now, just to simplify everything. Okay, let me check my calculator here. Okay, so let's say that people, unless of paying this $100, they're willing to pay $5, okay, to watch this sporting event. If they pay this $5, then of course you will gain this money from owning this terrain and charging people to watch this sporting event. So let's say they're willing to pay $5. By any chance, is any of you interested on the Super Bowl or has watched the Super Bowl? Would you think that $5 is a good price for watching it on virtual reality? Okay. OG Cake Crusher is writing, so I'll wait for his response on the question I just asked. Um, let's wait a couple of seconds until he's done typing so we can see his response. And welcome, Trumper INTP. I believe you just joined. I was explaining about how I believe this Earth 2.io project could go for the long range. Okay, OG Cake Crusher says, yes, it's a good price, but my question is, how long do you think they will take to get to phase three? There are other big players in other industries who can take over. Okay, and first I will finish with this thing, and then I'll explain when I think phase three will arrive. So, $5 we believe is a good price to watch the Super Bowl in virtual reality. Let's say there are only 10,000 persons interested in this. I believe there is much more than 10,000, but let's just say 10,000 is interested in watching on VR. In that case, we will be making only for using that stadium only for one day. I believe the Super Bowl is all played in one day. $50,000. This is excluding any other events that you could use that property for. And these $50,000 are the value you're gonna get in one day. Okay. This means that the space of the Super Bowl court will be worth at least $50,000 with these really small calculations. Saying people will pay only $5 and only 10,000 persons will be interested. So $50,000 means that there's a market for this. And when there's a market, there's a demand. There is usually a way to supply it. Okay. So what this means is that the valuation of this terrain per year will be at least $50,000, which means that you could turn an investment for 20. Let's say you bought it, even for $100 or $200 at the moment. You bought for $200 this place, you could get a good rateability for it in the future. Now I'll answer the other question from OG Cake Crusher. And he says there are other big players in other industry who can take over. Where will I think phase three can arrive here? So, as I was saying, I think phase three could arrive really early on. I believe the developers talked about phase three arriving in 2 to 3 years. I believe something around there, but I believe they can make it arrive way, way before. With the amount of money they're getting, they can make this type of stuff arrive way, way before. Um, Anyways, I know there are other big players, but I think there is not as much interest in other websites as much as Earth 2, or at least there may be at the moment more interest, but it's not growing as much and as fast as Earth 2, you know. So I believe there's a really good chance of it. And why is it important, Earth 2? Because usually these platforms are specialized on one thing. So they have a sporting specialized platform. They will do VR transmissions only on sporting events. But let's say you have another person, another friend that is interested on making virtual, seeing virtually a museum. And let's do it a hypothetical situation. Let's say you like the Super Bowl and you are onto this web page that will transmit on live the Super Bowl on virtual reality. Okay, you will only be able to talk to these old friends that share this interest with the sports. But if you know somebody that is interested into, let's say, museums, this conversation can be arrived while talking with this person and tell them that they can see any museum they wish in the world for a small price with virtual reality headsets. Which I believe virtual reality headsets nowadays are not that much of a big thing, but in a couple of years I think they can greatly outgrow PlayStation and Xbox in a couple of years. Um, well, this is the reasons why I believe this Earth 2 could have a potentially big advantage with other big players on these industries. Does anybody have any other question of this nature? Because then I would like to explain about the Bolivian situation and the pumps and dumps on this webpage that are actually happening right now. Will anybody have any more questions about this? Let's wait. Thumper NTP is writing. He says, What utilities do you see businesses having with tiles? Okay, as I'm telling you, there's a big market for this. As I was explaining, let's say for a museum, you could charge for people just to go into the museum as a really small price, maybe even only 50 cents or $1 for people to go into the museum. Why? Because you do not have a physical capacity limitation. In a normal museum, you can maybe only fit a small museum, maybe only 1,000 persons, but by doing it in VR, you can have thousands, potentially millions of persons in the same museum at the same time, looking at the same things. So there's no physical capacities, you know. Um, so this would be one of the reasons why I see utilities on business. The other reason I would see potentially really good utilities would be on markets, such as supermarkets. I don't know if any of you are aware of this, but when you go to a physical location, to a physical supermarket, you have a greater tendency to consume more and to use more money, to buy more money from the supermarket. This happens because, let's say, when you want to buy bread, you're buying this bread through a online site, let's say Uber Eats. You will only look for this item and then buy it, and that's it. The transaction is over right there. But if you go to a physical supermarket, you have to walk to the bread section, and on the way to the bread section, you will be able to find candy or chocolates that you may want to buy, and you may buy these chocolates, which on the first moment you were not interested in buying. And there's a lot of marketing involved with this. So a lot of people that buy their groceries through a online app, they could do it with virtual reality, which would be a better experience for the buyer, and also would be could give potentially more profit to these companies, because these companies would have people who used to consume a certain amount of money consuming a little bit more. Um, Anybody has any other question regarding something like this or anything related to this? So that I can see if I could answer any other things, or I could move on to the other theme I wanted to talk about. Okay, Thumper INTP is typing. Let's wait for him to ask his question. Let's wait a second. Welcome, cousins. How are you doing? If you have any question, you can type it on the. Hello, hello. Hold on a second. I'm addressing a question from Thumper NTP. I will ask you if you want to ask me a question. It would be way better if you type it on the hashtag questions for Zoom call, please, so I can address them in order. Okay, he says, Thumper INTP, could one tile have multiple versions of a utility or virtual building or something, and you can filter what you want to see? I think, yeah, I believe a filter would be basically something that has to be, because let's say you bought a property, you know, or a island, and people build around it, you know, it will look awful. Literally, someone could build a big statue in front of your island and it would not look good, you know, or in front of your business. So I believe you will be able to filter it once you're in the property. So once you're in your property, you will be able to, once you're in your property, you will be able to not see other properties, or you can have the option to deactivate other properties visualizations or certain properties visualizations. This all of this to avoid having bad images now, you know, of something outside of your business. The other question Thumper INTP asks is, could one tile have multiple versions of utility or virtual buildings or something? Of course they would. You could have a building in when you have many stores, and you could charge for these stores. I believe people would not be as interested on this, because as it's virtual, it's very, you can see all of it. It's very attractive through the site. So probably they would like to have only one building. But what you could do is use the advertisings that our two developers are talking about. So let's say you have a uh, a tech store. Beyond having this tech store, you could have on the front entrance a advertisement about a certain computer. So you would not only get money from selling stuff through the tech store, but also you will get money, or renting your train to a tech store, but you would also get money through these advertisements, you know. Or also, if you have a building on Manhattan, let's say, that is in front of many stores, of course, a lot of people will be able to see these stores. A lot of people will be able to see your building. There's a market for this, because where there are eyes, there is usually a market, and you could publish advertisements on this building, so the people inside the store through the winds could watch this advertisement. Or, but also going from one store to another store, they could also watch this advertisement. I believe Cousins was writing. Oh wait, hold up. There are more Trumper INTP questions, and you can filter what you see. So you could have hundreds of leases on one tile. Yeah, you could have you could rent a tile, a single tile or a single terrain of, let's say, about 10 or 20 tiles to a lot of companies. But as I say, and I believe that this may have a use way in the future, maybe 5 to 7 years, because on a principle, people want to, um, or enterprises actually would like to have a single, like a good site from for their store, you know, so that that store, let's say Apple wants to rent your terrain, they want it only to be for Apple. They don't want to share it with Best Buy. They don't want to share it with other things, you know, unless it's something similar to a mall or something like that. Any other questions you have, you can type it. I believe Cousins is typing. We'll wait for him to finish typing so I can address his question. Um, let's wait a couple more seconds for him to finish up his question. Let me check the questions. I want to make sure I answered everything. Could one tile have many versions of utility, virtual being something? Can you filter what you want to see? So how this is for a tile? Um, okay. And well, while Cousins is typing, I would like to explain the current situation of pumps and dumps on the web page and in the market. So what I believe pumps and dumps are being at the moment created for two reasons. I believe they're created because number one, people want to scam other people. They want to they want other people to buy their own properties for a higher price that is way over the market value, and practically it's scam people for it, you know. And I think that is the main reason. The second reason I believe people are doing this is to have, for people that are going in the long run, is to to make their lands or their terrains appreciate. Why? Let's take as an example Bolivia. It passed in hours from 16 cents and 17 cents of a dollar to over $5. I have invested a lot of money in Bolivia. I have created exclusive accounts for clients only to invest in Bolivia, because I could see a lot of potential with the techniques I have taught you before, I have talked about before. But basically, why would they be interested in this? If it's a pump and dump, it's supposed to go back to the original price. But there's a lot of people that will buy these tiles, and they want, and this is a lot of psychology on trading. They won't want to sell them at least until they are even. So this would naturally, from people buying all these tiles, would make the price go up of each tile. As an example, the market price of these tiles, of Bolivian tiles, are at 30 cents of a dollar. Um, so they doubled up basically in 2 days, which is pretty much normal for Earth2.io. But I believe there's a lot of potential in this. I believe that actually when there's a pullback in the market, these tiles could be being worth around 70 cents to a dollar and 20 cents. And well, basically, that's that part. I will keep on addressing this later. I want to read the questions you have made. So, Cousin says, what makes you so certain that developers will manage to fulfill the promise of Phase 2 with resources being mapped accurately? As it all speculation at this point, given to users, have zero evidence of examples of what will actually happen with the game. I will first answer this and then the other part. Okay, so why I think they will be able to make phase two? I think phase two is really easy, and I think there's a catch to phase two. So basically, I think what they will do and what they explained on their live stream is that it will be basically randomized, but it cannot be 100% randomized. So it will be randomized, and they will also take into account geological features. So and you can find a lot of geological features in internet and compare them to where some precious metals or some resources appear, right? So let's say you want to know where gold will be, and this is part of my research before buying a land. So I'm gonna buy a land. The first one of the first things I will do is look up under which properties, earth properties, will gold appear, right? Which type of terrain, which type of sand or of ground, at how much meters under earth. Does it have to be near the sea? Does it have to be near a volcano? At what latitude, or I mean, sorry, at what altitude will these things spawn? All these types of stuff. So I think that's basically really easy to implement. They just have to get these geological features, which I'm sure it's a lot of data, but at the moment they're making a lot of money. So I believe they can manage this and be able to do it. Okay, the catch I think there will be on phase two, and what I would personally do if I would be them, is charge for extracting resources. So what would I do? Let's say I want to spawn $40 there's $40 of gold, worth of gold, on your terrain. I would charge you as the enterprise, as Earth 2, $10 to extract this $40 of gold. Okay, why would I charge you this $10? I would charge you this $10 in order to pay developers, to pay graphic designs for and all the stuff required, all the 360 cameras and cars going around the streets to do phase three, to get even more funding for phase three. Um, I will continue answering the other questions. Okay, continuing from this, don't you find basing your strategy upon the speculation and even tile structures as a whole as they are going to be wiped, which would take many years if so ever be implemented, to be extremely risky and not the most rewarding, given the huge number of class 1 tiles that are still massively undervalued? Basically, at this stage of development, there isn't much to analyze if you're looking at this from a purely profit standpoint. Well, as I'm saying, I believe they will make only some modifications to the terrain that is on Earth, but on the case that they are removing every single edification and construction on Earth and just leaving it on blank, just mountains and oceans and all that stuff and islands. Well, in that case, you will have to start building from nothing. I don't think this would be the best thing to do for the developers, because if they do this, then there will be, I believe, a little bit less of interest on the project, because all the things I was talking you about the Super Bowl and the supermarkets will have to be built from ground zero, basically, and all historical places will have no value, like the White House or the Paris uh, Eiffel Tower, so that's part to it. But as I'm telling you, I'm diversifying my portfolio. I'm talking about the risks with my clients. So the ones that want to take more risk, less risk, talk to them, do many calls with them on what tiles would they be interested in buying. Of course, I do my research before and give them some offers on which countries where to buy. And this is why some decided to buy uniquely in Bolivia, because I told them there was going to be a lot of profit, especially for the short term. Um, but well, yeah, I really don't believe they will be um, destroying all the structure that is built on Earth, because I think it would not be a good idea. I think it would not be a good decision from them, and I really believe these are smart guys. Okay, next question. OG Cake Crusher. They will have to push the edge of VR gaming and augmented reality. I believe this, and this is why I was telling you that maybe it's not for their convenience to do this VR. I mean, phase three in 2 years. I believe they should take from 4 to 7 years to complete phase three. I know there will be a lot of speculation, and this may even make the project have a little bit less of credibility and a little bit less of investors. But when they launch phase three, if there's still a good market for this, as I'm telling you, in about 5 to 7 years, I think virtual reality is, augmented reality is growing at exponential rate. I think in the future, in 5 to 7 years, there will be basically no Xbox, or if there is Xbox, it will be way less used than virtual reality. The same with PlayStation. Okay, so Cousin says you're far better off investing $50 into countries at less than 20 cents and waiting for them to have their time. It requires an immense amount of trust and ability in these developers to fulfill this. Without being too negative, at the current stage, all we have to work with is Google Earth and Mapbox mashed together with some rudimentary and arbitrary pricing coded into each country tiles. For them to complete even half of phase 2 will be completely under breaking and unseen. It just seems bizarre that they would just release it in such a small window of time. They have coded sometime early in the first quarter of 2021 that we would still have not a single screenshot of development. Okay, I understand this. As I was telling you, I think big part of the second phase will be randomized, a big part of it, if not completely, because they even argued that they could randomize these resources completely, which would be a disaster. Well, at least for me, because I'm doing all the geological investigation before buying. Um, well, as I was telling you, I believe this is possible. I believe it's going to be hard for them, but they have the funding, they have the money to get enough people into this project and to be able to do it. And I think worst case scenario, instead of doing a real good job and doing um, a good job with the resources, if they are running out of time, I believe they're going just to randomize it. Because as the enterprise, they're way better off saying that, okay, we're going to randomize it and fuck it, because they are running out of time, rather than saying, okay, no, we're delaying this part of the project, especially with phase 2. So I believe they will end up randomizing it. There's a big chance that will happen. I believe they will do that. And well, Cousins, you achieved level 1. That's nice. And Cousins is asking around again. Yet here we are 5 days without basic functions of the website in the most basic forms. I understand. There are a lot of problems with website. If you want to access your account, actually today I have been more than 1 hour, maybe even 2 hours, just trying to access one account. I was able to do it, but it's taking me 2 hours. It's not something most customers would want. But this is because it's growing way beyond they thought it was going to grow. It's growing way too much. And I believe if they don't fix this problem in about 3 to 5, maybe 6 days or a week, they will be in deep trouble. Why would they be in deep trouble? Because they will lose a lot of investor interest. And this could make, because now there's exponential growth. If you look at Google Analytics, the search for Earth 2, basically exponential. Everybody's looking for it. No, well, not everybody, but there's the interest is growing every day, more and more and more, almost exponential growth. On the search for this. Um, but yeah, I believe they should fix that fast. Trumper INTP, not wrong. Everyone is very bullish. Okay, I do believe everyone is very bullish for the most part, but it's a complicated project. Okay, Cousins says, I'm afraid that's what they're doing, though. They have confirmed all structures will be completely wiped, which will naturally balance out the economy, which is why I believe it's illogical to hedge your investment in phase 2 speculation. I guess that's my main point here. Yeah, I comprehend that, but I believe that the best way to do anything like investing, I have invested before, as I told you, in the stock market, cryptocurrencies, and forex. The best way to do it is by diversifying. So you want to have a little bit of your money on let's say, buying expensive terrain in United States. For example, I bought pieces of Harvard University, Stanford University, and Dartmouth University, which were a little bit more expensive. But then a little other part of your budget for investing, you use it on these type of tiles, class 1 tiles, cheaper countries. Another part you use it for tourism. Another part you use it for geological places that won't change, such as the Salar de Uyuni in Bolivia, or such as some mountains, like the taller mountains in the world, which won't change, so they could still have some market value. So now, Hidden Castle says you don't erase the buildings by hand, just loads the geography map on a computer and give the order like replace buildings with forest or desert, etc. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I believe that there's a chance. I wasn't saying that they would have to erase the buildings by hand, but I was saying that this is probably not the best idea for them because they could lose a lot of interest on investors if they do this. I will personally not be as interested as an investor if they do this, and I will have to see how the project develops. Thrumper INTP says, what type utility types do you see bringing the most amount of return in the future? Um, well, in the near future, I would say that two countries really good to buy would be Chile and Suriname. I have personally bought between these two countries are around $4,000 with different client accounts and on these tiles on these countries because due to my technical analysis, which as I told you, I made it with all these tools I used to implement on crypto, forex, and stock market trading. They have a lot of potential, and I believe they have like really good growth. And this is the tools that I have used for looking at the Bolivia tiles, which of course they have a pump and dump. The real price is not gonna be $5, but I bought this price at around 16 cents of a dollar. I believe there's a good chance that they may appreciate, like tops to $2, being more realistic to 70 cents of a dollar, maybe $1 with 20 cents from now into 1 week ahead. So let's do some math with that. $1.20. Hold up, bring out my calculator. $1.20. We're gonna divide this into 0.16 cents, which will be per tile, and we'll get a 7.5 profit. I mean, 750% of profit on percentage. So the other part. Yes,
Kind of
yes,
talk a
yes.
second.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
But man, I just want to highlight, mate, like just how hard it is for you to sell property in this game currently, and just how critical that is for like this thing to last. Like it's like fundamentally the game will struggle if they are not able to implement an incentive or make it easier or for it to be more worthwhile for people to buy from each other. Because as it stands, that number will go up and up. But when it comes for people that want to take profits, there isn't going to be, who knows that the demand to sell them. Already, you see if you go on the trading channels, there's people trying to sell that portfolio for like 40% off all day long. The same people, and it's for days on end. And it makes me worry. The market is, I mean, it just shows itself. In the last 3 days, have you seen how fucked up the prices have been? Does it not worry you that it's that easy for the prices just to be completely fucked for that long? And yet we're supposed to trust that these devs release like literally the most groundbreaking game ever released in less than like 2 months. I'm not buying it, dude. Which is why I don't think it's best to like hedge your bets and because God forbid I hope that the game gets to these stages that we're speaking about. But I think it'd be foolish of you to like come in here and like try and get people to buy like places where there's resources or whatever it is they've speculated because there's no evidence of it, and it'd be foolish from an investment point because yeah,
Okay, okay.
you're taking someone's word for it. And I need to point out as well, guys. So hang on, I know I'm not trying to like I respect you as a guy. You grind, doing whatever, but like I just want to have my like 2 minutes, and then I'll mute myself. Also,
Yeah,
guys, I just want to point out as well, and now I'm not just the developers. They've gone on camera, they've shown their face, so they're accountable for whatever happens, which is great for us, the users. However, I just want to point out that things like this, if God forbid this did turn out to be some big fad and they wanted to get out of here, with crimes like this, if you live in a Western country, you end up getting maybe 3 to 5 years. And what would happen if I'm not saying it's a scam. Don't take my word as this is a scam. I'm saying if it was to be a scam, they would move the money into cryptocurrency, serve for 3 to 5 years, and probably never have to work again in their life. And now for a lot of people, that is like worthwhile. I don't know. I personally do it. I'd serve 3 years to never have to work again in my life. You know, it's like a victimless crime, but it's like a fucked up one if they were to do it.
Okay,
But
okay.
it's still
Wait,
possible. Just because
hold up a
they have
second.
shown their face doesn't mean they're in the clear.
Hold up a second. I want to
Like
answer.
it's happened before. If you look,
Just hold up a second. I will let you to keep asking questions, but I want to answer the first
no, that's
questions.
fine. That's mainly what I wanted to say. But
Yeah.
that's cool.
If you have any more questions, you can ask.
I just want to make it clear to everyone in here because I made it clear to you, Carlo, but I don't know if they know. Like seriously, I'm not in here to troll. I'm not. People have called me a troll for asking these questions. I'm literally in it because I want this to be true. But it's naive for people to not ask these questions and also to wonder these things and speculate. You know, because it's foolish to just take people's words for it. You know?
Yeah, I comprehend. I would like to now address some of your questions and the things you said.
Okay.
Okay, so I will address from the last to the first. So there is a chance. I believe there is actually a chance that this could be a scam. I think the chance is much, much smaller now that this money, as I have told you, has been deposited into my account. Now that these people have shown their faces and all of this. And even though, let's say...
Wait, hang on. So you have withdrawn money now, yeah?
Yeah, I have withdrawn money. I can show you all the photos of this later on. But wait, going back to this subject. Let's say these people started this as a scam. Okay, they started as a scam. They probably didn't thought about this growing so much, and sure, it's better for them if they will be scamming for it to grow, because they're gonna make more money out of it and whatever. But I think there
can I just point out something in that ideology?
Yes,
a
yes.
lot of people say that. A lot of people they say if they're going to scam, why wouldn't they wait? And now the reason that they wouldn't wait is because maybe, just maybe, if you think about it, if it was a scam, Phase 2 wouldn't exist. Nothing exists other than Google Mapbox and Google Earth if this is a scam, and we've all been had. Now, the thing is, if that is the case and it is a scam, they don't have anything to show us, which means they are on like a ticking time bomb for people getting suspicious and trying to get all their money out and it going to shit, right? So they have got a window of time if it is a scam to actually do this because they wouldn't make the game and then scam people. Like if they can make the game, they will make shit tons of money. If they're scamming, the game doesn't exist. It is a small window where this will end, or we will actually see that this is a game. But what I'm saying, as it stands, we don't have any physical evidence to say that it will be the game.
Yeah.
So it's like a roll of the dice in some sense. But I hope people, like I said, they've shown their face, they're accountable. But like I said again, that doesn't mean that much in today's environment with these sort of crimes. If it was to be what they are wanting to do, it is very valuable. It's very, it's been done before.
I know. I comprehend.
I hope that's not the case.
I comprehend. But let's assume that they are scammers and that they wanted this to be a scam. If I would be them, if I would be scammer, and this thing grows that much, I would seriously reevaluate if I should scam or if I should turn this into a legit project. Because if I scam, I will be able to make many millions of dollars. But I can assure you, if this project takes off, these people, the co-creators and the creators,
the thing is, dude.
Wait, hold on a second, please. Just let me finish. Just let me finish, please. Just hold on a second. These people could reevaluate the situation and realize that they're making a life-changing decision that will be between being a person that makes millions and some person that potentially makes billions of dollars. So even if I would be on their position being a scammer, I would turn this into a real project.
There is a huge issue with that, and I'm not trying to shit on you, but the problem with that is the fact that a scammer would not have the skills to make the game. You are talking about that if these guys pull it off, they are the best game devs in the world.
Yes, they would have to be at the edge of innovation.
The thing is, right? Yeah, exactly, right. And as it stands, I want to reiterate what we have got in front of us. We've got Google Earth with Google Mapbox overlaid onto it. It's something that, like, some of my friends could make it in less than 2 months, right? Okay, and the idea is, if it was a scam, that takes no effort for a few $1 million. They don't have the brain. If they wouldn't be scamming if they were able to make the game. That's not an outcome. The scammer wouldn't then see, oh, maybe I can make this thing, because they don't have the brains for it. Like, it's one way or the other. Like, these guys are either geniuses or we've been had. That's it. There's no middle ground.
Oh yeah, I agree with you.
Either collapses, they do it, or they run away. That's the 3 options.
I agree with
before
you.
it can even get to phase 2 because of poor management. If they succeed or they run away, that's it. That's the only outcomes there is.
Yeah, I agree with you with there being a chance.
Fingers crossed that they're able to pull it off. I'm playing devil's advocate, but it's questions that aren't being asked by many people. And when I do, I got banned for asking this shit, and now I can't even speak on general chat. So yeah, well, I can, but they said I'm nice, so I don't say a word because I don't want to end up getting banned. So I do genuinely want to be successful. I'm invested.
Yes. Tell me.
My main my main question is, let's take this. There's multiple industries that are gonna look at this and be like, what is going on? Because think about it, even from a gaming industry perspective, Grand Theft Auto 5, they make what, $500 million a year off microtransactions? Yeah. How is Earth 2 gonna match up to that? What is the microtransactions gonna be? What are the values gonna be? Is it gonna be game fun? It would have to be super innovative to create that kind of addiction and that kind of fun.
I would say, hold up a second, Cousins. Hold up. I'm sorry, Cousins. I just mute you for a second so I can answer this call. I answer this question. Then I will unmute you for you to give your opinion. I just want to have a little bit of time to answer this. Okay, so as I was saying, just think about how much money there is on real estate, on real life. Okay, how much trillions of dollars there are on real estate. Okay. The amount of money that there is on real estate on real life is ridiculous, and a big part of this money could be transferred to this project. So I generally believe that there could even be the first trillionaire on the world coming out of this project, because literally it's like turning real estate into a virtual thing, and there can be so much appreciation to this. There is so much appreciation to this. There could literally This project could literally build up the first trillionaire on the world, I believe. And not only that, and I'm not saying trillionaire, by this I don't mean only the developers, I mean investors in this project. Do you have any other questions? Okay, Thumper INTP is typing. Let's wait for him to type his question.
Yeah, that's a pretty bold statement. I could see a trillionaire. It depends. I guess it depends how much you put into it, though. If someone came and dropped $500,000 on it and say it appreciates, I could see $1 trillion maybe. But we got to talk about a game though. They got to actually come through and build a game. Right now it's just Google Earth. We're playing Monopoly on it.
Yeah, of course. When it happens.
That's literally it.
I wouldn't say wait.
We have to.
Go ahead.
They have to integrate with Fortnite or some sort of big major player for them not to get knocked out. Even from a competitive standpoint, let's say I'm GTA 5. I'm gonna stick to that. I'm GTA 5. What's stopping me from just taking my engine, being like, screw this, I'm gonna build Earth for $500 million each year.
Yeah.
You're not wrong there. Fuck. That's a very good point. If GTA wanted to do it, they could 100% expand it, and I think they could be very successful. But I guess the thing is that they're not doing it. They're not doing it.
Yeah, the thing is also, look at the category of game we're talking about. For example, you think about a Decentraland, if you came to an EA manager and you told them, hey, you're going to have to manage this game and there's a whole economy and there's a whole thing, this isn't really building a game to have as a developer. This is building a game that's going to be different because of the community, and the community own the game in the end.
Yeah, as I was saying, I was explaining. Give me a second, please. I was explaining a part of the economics of what I will believe will be E2 in a couple of months or maybe years. Oh, hold up, my phone is getting out of battery. I was playing until my battery runs out. But a part of the economics, it's that, for example, Earth 2 could make virtual inside parts of many different places, as for example a museum, you know. So in real life, to go to a museum in Italy, you have to pay, let's say, $20 for entrance, but you cannot go any time you want because you have work, you have university, whatever you're in. And also you have to pay your flight ticket to visit this museum. So there's a lot of people that would, instead of paying this $20 ticket to enter the museum, they could pay $1 to enter the museum in virtual reality, you know. So there's a market way beyond the video game. People that want to see museums, sporting events, live sporting events, marketplaces, virtual stores, you know. So I think there's a big market for this. Hold on, I would like to give the voice now to Cousins because I muted him to answer the other question. I want to now unmute him so he can talk for a second before anybody else talks. There you go, Cousin. You can talk now.
Sorry, I had to go onto my Wi-Fi. I was outside.
No problem, no problem.
I've forgotten what we've been talking about now. What had we just said?
We were talking in the second about the economics of Earth 2. Do you have any question related to it, or?
I mean, not really. Other than what I've said already. No, I think that I think it's more sustainable. To be for everyone to just buy for this arbitrary, because it really is arbitrary. The value of it is pulled from thin air. Is, you know, the value is derived from those beneath you that are trying to buy it. After you've made it, you know, made your gains or whatever you want to call it. It's not. It creates a bubble in the economy, and when people can't actively sell, you know, for a few reasons. One being the marketplace being absolutely trash, and like, you know, you literally have to just go through the bits. There is no search function, you know, and I don't trust them to implement that anytime soon, given how long it's taken for them to fix tax. You know, I was here on the 20th of December. Believe it or not, we used to get taxed by the hour. Every 2 to 3 hours we were getting taxed. And then it turned to 1 day. And you know what, boys? The thing is, if this was to be an exit scam, what would happen is they would pay out a few people, as they have done. And hang on, this is something I wanted to mention earlier and I forgot. How many of you watched the Twitch stream?
Okay, give me a second. I have muted.
Okay.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna mute you now. Okay, I have muted everybody. If you want to speak, please just type on hashtag questions for Zoom for call. Just type I want to talk, and in order of whoever types first, I will enable your microphone. Okay, so that you can keep asking questions. Okay, so as I was saying, you were talking about these people not being able to pay taxes, and this could be an indication of fraudulent. Of a fraudulent thing that could happen, you know. And the other thing is that you say that they will pay out some people. I have seen at the moment a lot of people, especially on Reddit, that have been paid. But sure, that's a fact. This is something that could happen. It could be something real that these people, the creators and developers could be creating a scam, you know. But as I mentioned earlier, I said if I would be making this scam and it grows so much, I would turn this scam into a legitimate business, because that will make the difference between somebody that is creating $1 million or many millions of dollars to someone who could become potentially a billionaire and even a trillionaire, as I was saying before. And Cousins, I know that you typed first that you wanted to talk, but I'm going to give a small break to you because you have talked a lot, and I want to give the chance to other people to ask me questions and all this stuff. Okay, so SHE is asking a question. I've got one about how microtransactions could work for E2 customer driven. Okay, so how could microtransactions work? Um, well, I'm not sure if they will implement microtransactions because they haven't talked about it yet beyond investing in buying this stuff. But I can assure you that they may start using microtransactions. Why would they do this? Of course, to get more money. I don't know yet how to answer these questions, this question specifically, because I didn't really thought about this on the customer-driven situation. But I'm gonna try to think about it, and in the next video call, I assure you, I will have more information on this. I'm sorry, cousins, for not giving you the word, but I want other people to have the chance to also ask questions. Sure, you can type it in the chat, and I will address it in a couple of minutes when I address some other questions from other people. So, Thumper INTP says, if they play to their strengths, they won't rely on the game to make or break it. They will open it up to develops, sorry, and just focus on the platform. Yeah, I actually believe that would be a smart choice, a smart decision. Why could it be a smart decision? Because, well, as you're saying, they want to make sure their strengths are good. You want to make sure that the most important thing, that is the platform, is really good. So, as I was saying, and answering to cousins, is that they should play their strengths and at the moment, like, really focus on the parts based, for example, on the transactions, the income tax, and being able to actually log in into the page. So now SHP says, I have an idea about it. Sorry, I wanted to hear your thoughts. I think I know it could be profitable. Okay, SHP, I'm gonna give you the microphone so you can talk and explain this idea. Hello.
All right. Thanks, man. So I was thinking about what you were saying with the museums and these different places. What I actually think could be a very avenue is we know the developers are going to be taking a cut out of the withdrawals and maybe some of the transactions in game, like the what do you call it, improvement fee and things like this. So what I was thinking is if you have players in areas like, say, they own the museum, and maybe people aren't going to be willing to pay $20 to go see a digital museum, but what could happen is that the advertisement that you place there and those kinds of other aspects could actually become a more profitable bit. Like, say, for example, you own commercial streets and you put advertisement on there, and when people say, like, oh, I wish I could know what Fifth Avenue looks like, and you go there, and let's say you can even go into the stores and buy the actual products, like, not charge them for the experience, but paywalls would absolutely kill monetizing the aspects of the game that normally we wouldn't even have available.
Whoa, man, this is actually a really good idea. I haven't made that connection because this happens with YouTube. And for them to give you these free video services, they charge you by making you watch advertisements. I haven't thought about it this way, but this would be amazing because you'll be able to see museums all over the world for free. People will be so interested into that, so interested. Also, sporting events. You could imagine being able to watch on a virtual reality headset 360 degrees of vision a sporting event such as the Super Bowl for free. I doubt it will be 100% free. Maybe it will be much less. Maybe just pay 50 cents or maybe $1 to watch it. But man, paying $1 to watch the Super Bowl and watching it on virtual reality, or maybe potentially not paying anything for it, just paying with it by using your eyes, by seeing advertisements. Wow, that's really good. That I have not thought about that. Oh man, I really like that idea. That's really something big. And now the problem would be also that it can't become way too spammy, because if it's too spammy, as some pages are too invasive with their advertisements, then, well, basically people would lose interest. But I think they can find a way to balance this out. Not making pop-ups, just making it, as you're saying, on buildings, on the streets, on supermarkets, or even before entering the museum. You have to watch, like in YouTube. like to watch a 10-second video, and then you can enter the museum. Man, that oh man, I like this idea. I haven't thought about it. I really like this idea. Man, this really could make it way more profitable and a more interesting project. Um, I really like that. I will mute you for a second now, so that I can give the word to other people. Thank you very much. Whoa, that's a nice idea. Holy shit. Nice. Okay, let's go see something else. Cousins, as I have said, I will just wait one more question. One more question, and then I'll go back to you, okay? So, Hidden Castle says, you guys are thinking too far ahead. Let's concentrate in the present situation and how we can make most profit from the current trading. Yeah, you're correct, Hidden Castle. As you're saying, you're correct. We're just speculating a little bit about the future. That would be really cool about though. What that guy mentioned. I forget your name, but well. Anyway, let me SHP. What SHP mentioned that was really interesting. Yeah, you're right. And so I would like to repeat a little bit about what I have said about the strategy, so you can hear about it. The people that just joined, I believe SHP didn't have a chance to hear it. But as you know, there are many indicators, there are many tools utilized on trading with cryptocurrencies, on trading with stock market, and with trading in forex. These tools could be implemented into Earth 2. Okay, you can grab the graph, the history price chart from Earth 2 from any place you would like, copy the information, paste it on Excel, and in this Excel, you can get formulas on internet, on Google, on how to apply to this graph simple moving averages, exponential moving averages, oscillators, all this kind of information and tools that are usually used in the stock market on this, and one more thing I would like to mention is that more than this is that these tools were not used on Bitcoin at first and on cryptocurrencies, but now they're used like 90% of the time or 99% of the time somebody's buying crypto for swing trading or day trading or even medium to long term trading. They utilize these tools, they use these tools. And at first, Bitcoin, people speculated just like us and didn't use these tools, which are more sophisticated and could give you a better guess on it. So now I will answer you, Cousins. I'm sorry for making you wait so much, but I wanted to address some other people before giving the word back to you. I'm gonna read it now. At the end of the stream, when the Twitch had 1K plus viewers, Shane said, I quote, there's been a handful, maybe 0.1/0.2%, who have issues with withdrawals, but there's thousands of successful ones. Now tell me that's not the inverted truth and arguably propaganda. Wishlist, he had the biggest platform to do so. Okay, I comprehend this point of view, but people are categorizing problems, some things that are not problems with problems, like taking too much time to get their money. That's not a problem, taking like a month or two, at least I don't see it as a problem. I see it as something that must be done to make sure everything is done in the correct way. I don't see that as a problem, but most people categorize it as a problem, So I'm gonna go to your next comment or question, Cousins. You were saying, just listen to yourself. We're sat here hoping the devs can fix the login marketplace, so we're able to sell our profits. The only thing that has constantly worked this whole time is purchasing of land directly from devs. Why I believe this is working, why I believe this is happening, is because when you want to buy creds on this platform, there's a I haven't investigated into this, but there is a PayPal logo. I believe PayPal is managing the transactions. So when you pay to this to Earth2.io, you're paying first through PayPal, and this PayPal account then gives it to the devs. So I think PayPal is taking a role of an intermediary. Okay, intermediary. Last question I'm gonna read about you, Cousins, before I go to the next one. You say, I'm gonna dip if you keep dodging my questions, bro. I get that this is not nice to hear what I'm pointing out, but it's naive to not. Yeah, I comprehend. As I'm telling you, I don't want to leave you. I don't want not to hear you, but I want also to give the chance for other people to listen to this. Okay, I'm gonna try to address as much questions as possible. We are now 1 hour and 10 minutes in these conversations, and my battery is at 11%. Even though it's connected to my computer, which will give me more time, it's still gonna drain from my phone. Okay, your signal is struggling, bro. Oh, sorry. Uh, oh, sorry. It's lagging so hard. We didn't hear your answer. We can liquidate. How is there profitable? Maybe transmitting from Earth to servers. Ha ha ha. Yeah, nice. Okay, can you listen to me better now? Can you listen to me better? Oh, you want me to turn off my camera? Okay, I'm turning it off just so that my signal is better. Can you listen to me now? Can you type if you can listen to me now better? Okay, Cousins is typing. Works better. Okay. I'm really sorry. So I'll go back to the questions. Okay, can't hear you. Your signal is bad. We can't hear you. We can liquidate. How is your profit? Can you tell me which questions were you not able to hear? Please answer this one, dude. I won't ask anything else. Okay, I'm gonna answer this question now once again. At the end of the stream, when the Twitch had 1K plus viewers, Shen said, I quote, there's been a handful, maybe 0.1 or 0.2% who have issues with withdrawals, but there's thousands of successful ones. Okay, as you're saying, why am I saying this? Oh, with Thomas. Now it sounds bad. Better. Okay, it sounds better. No problem. So, as I was saying, as I will repeat myself, uh, I think a lot of people are saying that problems are or some things they're considering as problems when they're actually not problems. Okay, what type of things? I would say things such as yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't finish reading it because I read it before, but I swear to God, I read all of it. Okay, so I was explaining, you said that this big platform is the best place to do this, all of this stuff. Um, so as I was saying, I believe people are considering problems something that is not. Let's say their withdrawals taking 2 months or so to get onto their account. Um, but this withdrawals taking 2 months, I would not take that as a problem. A problem would be that you cannot withdraw your money. They're just saying that they're going to take their time, and they're saying that they're going to take their time because as I'm saying, they need to take their time. There are way too many withdrawals on these accounts. So hold on, give me 1 more second, please, Cousins. I will keep checking some other questions and go back to you once again, okay? So the 72nd turn says, how do you feel about the Twinkie impact of the resources? Do you believe that Twinkies will be the most valuable resource? I do not understand your question. I believe the Twinkies are like a type of cake or something like that. I don't know if you can rephrase the question. Okay, we understand, Cousins. We're all taking massive risk. Yeah, I'll go back to you, Cousins. I'm sorry for not giving you so much importance, but I want to answer questions from other people typing. So the second the 72nd turn says the Twinkies will be a game changer. I believe many people don't know about it. Man, it would be so cool if they actually like put Twinkies just for fun. These are small, cakes as a resource, as a land resource, and they make it like super rare and super valuable. That would be so cool. It would be like something funny to do. Okay, so if some appear, yes, hahaha. Back to Cousins again. He's replying to the Thumper INTP when he said that we understand, Cousins, we're taking a massive risk for a massive reward. Cousins says, yeah, but I doubt many of you have any comprehensive understanding of how markets and what risk means. Well, as I'm saying, and I will recommend all of you not to invest money that you cannot afford to lose. Money that you use to pay your food, your rent, your all this stuff. Do not invest this money. Invest money that you are going to use for luxury things. For example, buying video games or buying shoes or things that are not as necessary. Luxury things. That money is okay. And if you want to leverage out and have more money, you can do exactly what I'm doing. What I did is get more than 60 clients in 2 weeks, like 60 people that I wanted to invest with me. So how you do this? What method I am utilizing, and you can also utilize this with your friends and your family. You do all investigation. You do all the buying of all the terrains, and you just tell family members and all the stuff. The minimum amount I'm working with is $15. So I tell these friends, family members, I explain them everything about the project in good detail. and tell them, look, you can invest just $15 and see how it grows. And well, basically, you take the risk. I won't take any interest, any commissions on your money, but on your benefit, I will take 35% of your benefit. So I only win money if you win money. So it's better for me to make you win money. It's I'm not doing that. You can leverage and have more money to invest, thus have more profit. Of course, it means a lot of more work. As I was telling you in the chat the other day, the past 2 weeks I've been sleeping maybe 3 hours a day. Yesterday was the only day that I really had good sleep. Not even that good, like 6 or 7 hour tops. But I've been working on this just to get all this stuff. So going back to more questions. Cousins asks again, it's mind-boggling to buy any more than 5% of your investing capital into something like this without a huge salary IMO at this stage. Well, yeah, I believe the salary doesn't matter if you have money that you're going to use for investing. Of course, you should really analyze the percentage that you're going to use for this, but as I was going to say, I'm talking not about investing money. I'm talking about free money. Money that you would usually use to buy a video game. You say, okay, instead of buying this video game, I can buy some terrains and see what happens in a couple of months, a couple of years, Or, okay, instead of buying these new shoes I wanted that are luxury, I don't really need them, but I wanted them. I'm gonna invest on this market. Let's see what happens in a couple of months, So money that won't affect you really. Then Thrumper INTP says tacos may also be very precious. Oh, holy shit, they better be. Hold up. I'm trying to look for a taco emoji to react. There you go. I hope they do. Okay, so OG Cake Crasher says you're supposed to take out your original and keep it all houses, but it's pointless if you can liquidate your original investment. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, of course, you're supposed to, once you get a big amount of benefit, to retire your initial investment, so you have a risk-free investment, and then you're pretty much free. You risk-free investment, no risk on this investment. You can make a lot of money with it. But wait, hold up. I want to make sure you can listen to me good. Yeah, nobody's saying they have problems. Okay, so you can listen to me. 5 days ago, I literally had no problem selling properties. Like literally, 4 days ago or 5 days ago, I had no problem selling property. There's a lot of people buying. Actually, if you listed any property under 20%, people bought it. The problem that people are having selling properties is because of the pump and dump. So with this pump and dump, basically what happens, you cannot really tell which is the market value. So if you can tell which is the market value, there's a lot of people that don't know how much they're willing to pay for it. So they rather buy from Earth 2 than another seller. Give me a second. Here's the question. Okay. Do you feel like a Raven tag will be profitable to build in the game? What is a Raven tag? I don't know that. My English is not that good, so maybe that's why I don't know that slang or that thing. Okay. Oh, Mexico flag. I'm hitting the next Mexico flag. Okay. Cousin says people act like you can pay for things in real life with your estimated property value. Oh yeah, I understand that. When you think you have more money, you start spending more. Do not do that until you have cashed out. Until it is in your bank, do not start spending more money than you should. Thrumper INTP asks virtual lap dances, but I don't think you need health for it. Oh, that would be cool. Even for that, I don't know if you have heard about this, but my cousin was telling me about this. There's actually in virtual reality many where besides virtual porn, there's a lot of virtual table dancers, and these are actually not real, virtual, like AI that is made for table dancers or pre-made table dances. And there's a big market for this in virtual reality. Actually, there is a big market for it. So you could even make money with that, with buying a nightclub and then using this nightclub for all this stuff. It shows me those people never successfully invested before. Haha. Cousins, please do not be mean to other people, please, on the chat. They see green and ignore all red flags. Promises. You say green, that means invest more, right? OnlyFans plugin. What is this Discord for? Oh, okay. So the first part of the Discord, I explained the strategies. Don't worry, I'm recording all of it. So the first 20 minutes of this recording I will upload to YouTube, talking about the strategies. And now we're talking about many things, many questions they want to ask me and see my perspective on Earth 2. Okay, so now the seventh the 7-2 and the Stern says, I maxed out all my credit cards and 401k and put a mortgage on my house. I invested 30k. Good idea, you think? Um, no, I don't think this is good. This is a good idea, man. You shouldn't put that. I mean, you could put that much money in it, but you have to be um, you have to really know how to manage your money. I would recommend you to reevaluate these life decisions. Troll cousins answering hiding castle replies to Shadow Shot saying, "What is this Discord for?" And he says, "Troll cousins." No, we don't want to troll cousins. You think I'm a troll, cousins? Please tell me how I benefit from pointing out what I do. No, I understand, cousins, that the best thing you want to do, the best of your interests, is to really help everybody. I understand. I understand. So Trump INTP says, I sold my last shirt to buy it through it too. Nice. The 7 second amendment, be a nice person and you can have a hug. And my mom actually gave me 50 to spend on it because I spotted Bitcoin early. Oh, Trump INTP, nice. Nice to hear you spotted Bitcoin early. I actually heard first time about Bitcoin on 2014, 2015. I really liked a system, all this part of hackers system. I don't know how you say it in English. System security, and I wanted to hire a hacker from the deep web to hack my Facebook account and my Gmail account so I could learn how he does it. And his payment was Bitcoin, so that's when I started seeing on it. But since I was really young, my parents didn't let me invest no money until I was 15 or 16. So, and they need to make the platform as solid. Yeah, of course, they really need to fix up the platform and make all their promises reality. If not, they're gonna lose so much interest and investors on this. We know what the pump and dump is. I put my order in at 14, but I end up at 50 at $19. Next, I just bought all Brazil tiles that were like 500 at price. How do I get rich from them? I think okay. Trump INTP says, I think buying random country styles as just an investment. And I think there is so much more risk than utility tiles. Okay. Cousin says it seriously, isn't it? Okay. And SHP says Robin Tug is a brothel disguised as a massage parlor. Oh, so it's like a man that looks like a lady and massages you. Oh no, 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 no good, no good. As Shadow Shot says, how do I get Member Plus? What is Member Plus? Oh, you mean you want to be an admin? I just got one guy to be an admin. Let me check if he's still in the call. No, he left because the call is already 1 hour 20 minutes, so he probably left. But I made him admin because he was really helping me out. How do I pay my electric bills for my properties? Oh man, that's really funny. Well, actually, if you think about it, you actually pay electric bills for your properties because when you utilize your computer to look at your properties, these properties that you see are many pixels, small pixels with light. And this applies to any video game. So if you see a light on a video game, like a bubble light, I don't know, that's the name, in a video game, you're actually paying for electricity for that light, and that light is actually real, because you're paying electricity for your house to power your computer or whatever you're using or your console, and with that thing you power those pixels. So you're actually paying a small price for that light. Okay, Cassie says, I just bought San Marino at 10 cents. It's already 18. It's inside Italy, which is $4, and San Marino is the third smallest country in the world. Cool. Really interesting. That's nice. I would recommend you though to do a little bit more research and more investigation before buying lands to get the most benefit out of it, cousins. Okay, catch up stern, will economists become a commodity? I doubt it. Hold up, I'm gonna react to this. There you go. I need the rubber farm sub. Level. Got it finally. SHP says, brother is where prostitutes work, bro. It's not to do in a drag. Oh shit. Okay. I understand. The 72nd Stern says he's lying. A brother is where men pretend to be women to touch other men with interest. Starting a monopoly on men touching. Oh my god, this is not what I intended this call or meeting to be for. Okay, so does anybody want to make any other a little bit more serious questions? I know it's also fun talking about this stuff, but I would like to make a little bit handle a little bit more serious questions now. Okay, will we build factories? Factories. That would be interesting, you know. That would actually be interesting. I doubt it because you don't need a factory for virtual reality, you know. Um, you don't need a factory. But what you could do, I could think about it. What you could do is like build a factory, virtual factory, in the one you make 3D models of different materials, you know, and then you could sell these 3D models to people so they can have nicer walls, nicer buildings, you know. That would be interesting. Okay, and where's my income tax? I don't know my income tax. I haven't gotten much into income tax. Also, it's. I hope they fix this fast. They must fix this fast if they don't want to ruin their reputation as a company. Okay, OG Cake Crasher. Okay, so the top 20 countries shouldn't we pay attention to those in the short term since they will have the highest rate of return in terms of price per tile. Some are going up 50 cents a day, so you could just stock up until you have a lot of money a day. Okay, so what I'm doing actually is focusing more on smaller countries because top countries at the moment have a lot of pump and dump. Even countries like America, like United States, I believe they do have a pump and dump, and you cannot really evaluate the market value, you know, and you don't know when you'll get a return. But with countries that have smaller prices, you could make a technical analysis with the tools that I told you I utilize in trading to see which one is the best, and also this way you will get, I believe, more tiles worth of your money. So with $1, with $20, let's say you buy one property in USA, with $20 you can buy, let's say, 100 properties in Suriname. Okay, it's a place where I'm investing in Latin America, South America, and of course these 100 tiles may not appreciate as much as USA in the future, but you don't need them to. You know, you need to make a calculation, so it can only appreciate up to $100, while USA could be at $3,000 or $5,000, but the percentage of benefit you get will be bigger. Okay, so hold on a second. Focus on the tile price, not the market price. I mean, you should focus on both market price and tile price. But I would say at this moment, tile price has much more importance than market price. What do you think of Alpha Kingdom? I have seen a lot of them. I think they try to join me on a Discord or something. Are these the guys that are pump and dumping? I'm not sure about that. I just heard about the name and really little bit. Are these the guys that are pump and dumping? I don't know much about it. Um, okay, pump and dump is a great brother name. Holy shit! Come on, give me some serious questions. Okay. Can somebody answer me about a little bit more about Alpha Kingdom? I believe it's. I think these are the guys that were pump and dumping, but I'm not sure about it. Let's see. Do any of you have any other question, or would you like to end this meeting now? Because I'm already 1 hour and 30 minutes into this meeting. But no problem. I could have a little bit more of time. What do you want to know about Alpha? I just want to know at the moment. The rest I can investigate by myself. Are these the guys that are pump and dumping, or not? Like a group of people that just pump and dump just to scam people. Are these people doing that or not? The rest I will investigate. I don't want you to type it because Carlo, are you interested in strategic tile places or just buying any tile inside the country? Okay, so I will explain you how I do my technique, what I do. First, I look for countries with low tile evaluation. Let's say anything under 40 or 50 cents of a dollar. I will make my technical analysis with the tools I have told you by plotting the price history chart on Excel and applying simple moving averages, exponential moving averages, oscillator, relative strength indexes, and all this stuff. Once I know which of these countries has the most probability of evaluating the faster and the most, I will investigate the geological data. Okay, I will go and Google literally geological data of this mineral, let's say of gold. Where does gold appear? Okay, at what altitude? Next to the sea, next to, let's say, a volcano, on which parts, on the desert, on the forest, and with this geological data about some resources that I have heard have a big probability of appearing as natural resources on Earth 2, on phase 2. I will look for those specific um, geological I don't know how to say this in English, I'm sorry, geological things, let's say geological properties on this country. Once I found those geological properties on this country, I will also try to find, which I don't always do, interesting spots, let's say universities on this country that match all these other previous things, churches, museums that match all these other things. Okay, hold up. They like to pretend they're kings. Okay, yeah, it's like a cult sorta. Yeah, they worship a nameless god. Geological feature is the phrase. Oh, thank you. Geological features. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They worship a nameless god. Oh, so I don't know. I wouldn't really be interested on joining them then. I don't believe that much in God and all that stuff. Even though I'm open-minded to listen to all that stuff, maybe you can change my mind or these people can change my mind, but I'm not really interested on that. So, does anybody else have any other questions that I could address? Mm, I'm gonna wait for a couple of more seconds to see if anybody has any more questions. All good, dude. Okay, nice. OG Crusher is writing. SHP is writing. Thanks for letting us in. Okay, no problem. Hold up. I'm gonna open your microphones so we can all say bye. I don't know how to say this in English, but say bye bye like in a proper way. Hold up. I'm gonna open the microphones of everybody. Hold up. I'm gonna open everybody's microphone. Okay, Shadow Shot, you're the last one. I'm gonna open your microphone. There you go. And finally, Thrumper INTP, I'm gonna open your microphone so you can speak also. Well, I would like to thank you for attending this first meeting. This is the first meeting I have made regarding all this stuff. Thanks everybody for attending. I hope you'll be interested in future meetings. I will do more research. In future meetings, I will explain in greater detail how to utilize these tools. And well, all this stuff, thank you very much. If you could please share the YouTube video, I have in hashtag announcements, just for more people to know about this, because as I'm telling you, right, the more people that utilize these tools, the more people that will be able, the more precise these tools become, so we can make more profit. So that was it. Thank you all. It was a pleasure meeting you. It was a pleasure talking to you. And we'll be talking whenever you want through the server. I will see if tomorrow or maybe in 2 days I'm available for another call. And we'll be able to manage all of this. Thank you all. And we'll be talking soon.
All right, thank you, Paulo.
That's it. It was a
Here, man. Very sure.
Have a great day. Have a great day. Bye bye.